Welcome to today's documentary-style video, The Success Story of Apple. Apple is one of the most iconic companies in the world. Known for innovation, sleek design, and a loyal fan base, Apple has transformed technology, culture, and even the way we live. In this 2-hour journey, we'll explore Apple's incredible history, from its humble beginnings in a garage to near bankruptcy to becoming the world's most valuable company. This is not just the story of a company, it's the story of vision, failure, resilience, and ultimately success. Chapter 1. The Origins. Our story begins in California in the 1970s. Steve Jobs, a young visionary with a love for electronics and design, Steve Wozniak, a brilliant engineer who loved building things, and Ronald Wayne, the often forgotten third co-founder. In 1976, in a small garage in Los Altos, they created the Apple I computer. It was simple, a motherboard with basic components, sold as a kit to hobbyists, but it was the beginning of something much larger. Apple Computer Company was officially founded on April 1, 1976. They sold their first units for $666.66. That's right, the first Apple computer had a price that would later become part of tech folklore. Jobs' vision wasn't just about technology. He wanted computers to be personal, accessible, and beautifully designed. Chapter 2. The Early Growth. After the Apple I came the Apple II, launched in 1977. This was the breakthrough. With color graphics, a keyboard, and expandability, it became a massive success. Schools across America started using Apple II computers. Suddenly, Apple wasn't just a small startup, it was becoming a real force in the computer industry. In 1980, Apple went public. The stock offering created instant millionaires, including many employees. But success brought challenges. Competitors like IBM were entering the personal computer market. Apple needed to innovate further. Chapter 3. The Macintosh Revolution. In 1984, Apple introduced the Macintosh with one of the most famous commercials ever, directed by Ridley Scott, shown during the Super Bowl. The Macintosh was revolutionary. It introduced the graphical user interface, icons, windows, and the mouse to the mainstream. While the Mac inspired the industry, sales were slower than expected. Steve Jobs, known for his passion and intensity, clashed with Apple CEO John Sculley. By 1985, Jobs was pushed out of his own company. Apple, the company he founded, would continue without him. Chapter 4. The Wilderness Years. Without Jobs, Apple struggled. The late 1980s and early 1990s saw product after product that failed to inspire. The Newton PDA, the Macintosh Portable, and endless variations of computers confused customers. Meanwhile, Microsoft rose with Windows, offering cheaper computers with a familiar interface. By the mid-1990s, Apple was in serious trouble. Sales were falling, losses were mounting, and many believed Apple would not survive. But fate had other plans. Chapter 5. The Return of Steve Jobs. In 1997, Apple made a bold move. It acquired Next, a company founded by Steve Jobs after leaving Apple. With that deal, Jobs returned. At the time, Apple was 90 days away from bankruptcy, but Jobs brought focus, vision, and simplicity. He cut unnecessary products, streamlined operations, and launched a new campaign, Think Different. It wasn't just advertising. It was a declaration that Apple would no longer try to be like everyone else. Apple would innovate, take risks, and inspire. Chapter 6. The iMac and a New Era. In 1998, Jobs introduced the iMac. Designed by Johnny Ive, it was colorful, playful, and unlike anything else. The iMac saved Apple. It sold millions, reintroduced Apple as a creative force, and proved that design mattered as much as technology. Apple was back, but this was only the beginning. Chapter 8. The iPod and iTunes. In 2001, Apple launched the iPod, a small music player that could hold 1,000 songs in your pocket. Combined with iTunes, Apple revolutionized the music industry. Instead of buying CDs, people could purchase songs digitally. The iPod was sleek, easy to use, and became a cultural icon. White earbuds became a symbol of coolness. For the first time, Apple was not just a computer company, it was a lifestyle brand. Chapter 8: The iPhone Revolution. Then came 2007. Steve Jobs stood on stage and introduced the iPhone. It was not just a phone. It was a music player, an internet communicator, and a revolution in your pocket. The iPhone changed everything. It redefined mobile phones, destroyed old giants like Nokia and BlackBerry, and created the modern smartphone industry. App Store followed in 2008, giving rise to millions of apps. Suddenly, an entire economy existed on Apple's platform. The iPhone became the most successful consumer product in history. Chapter 10: The iPad and Beyond. In 2010, Apple launched the iPad. Critics laughed, calling it a big iPhone, but it sold millions and created a whole new category. Apple continued with innovations like the MacBook Air, Apple Watch, and services like Apple Music, Apple Pay, and iCloud. By now, Apple was not just a tech company. It was shaping culture, media, and the way we live. Chapter 11: Apple Today. Today, Apple continues to innovate. With products like the iPhone 14, Apple Watch Ultra, and services like Apple TV Plus, Apple remains a global giant. Its stores are iconic, its brand is unmatched. Its ecosystem, from hardware to software to services, keeps customers loyal. Apple is also leading in areas like privacy, sustainability, and health technology. It is not just a company anymore. It's a symbol of innovation, design, and ambition. Chapter 12: The Lessons of Apple. The success story of Apple teaches us many lessons. Vision matters. Jobs saw what others didn't. Design matters. Apple showed that technology can be beautiful. Resilience matters. Apple nearly died but came back stronger. Focus matters. Cutting distractions and doing fewer things better made Apple stand out. Innovation never stops. From the Mac to the iPod, iPhone, and beyond, Apple kept moving forward. Apple's story is not just about computers or phones. It's about creativity, determination, and the belief that one company can change the world. From a garage in 1976 to the most valuable company in the world, Apple's journey is a reminder. With vision, persistence, and courage, success is possible. Thank you for joining this 2-hour journey. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe.